Hello and welcome to the Dubliners broadcast, and I just wanted to say thanks for showing up to episode 2. This time I'm not going to do the low voice thing. I just kind of wanted to make it look like I was on one of those mafia TV shows where they have to disguise your voice. Well, this is my correct voice, or the actual voice that I have. Today I just would want to talk to you about something I forgot to mention. In 2005, we didn't really look at something. There was a huge catastrophe there, and it's kind of funny that I didn't mention that because it's really interesting how things work out. So, Hurricane Katrina. That death toll looks like, what was it? Several thousand people. There was 1,800 people in Louisiana, 1,577 in Mississippi, 238. It's a Category 3 hurricane, as you remember. And it was a while back. This is a while back now, so it's easy to forget these things. But a few seasons after Katrina, you see New Orleans Saints make the march to the Super Bowl and beat Peyton Manning in the Colts. Didn't you just want them to win? Didn't you just feel they were going to win? Because, I mean, how can you beat a team that's gone through their whole city's been ruined, gone through that huge major catastrophe? That's what they need. They needed that win. The whole city needed that win. And unfortunately, they've gotten so many issues with their coaching staff talking about injuring people since last season and all that. But I just wanted to mention that 2009, and that's what really caught my attention because, now, what is it? Is it our subconscious mind that's, giving these referees the go-ahead to, call an offensive foul or a defensive foul? Or let's look at the 2 days ago in the Cleveland Browns-Washington Redskins game. The Browns clearly came back with their own fumble. But they ruled it a Washington Redskins recovery. How does that even happen? I'm not even going to go there. That might have been a mishap that they just didn't want to review. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff like that. But case in point, I'd like to also say that I'm not a quack. I'm not a guy who's saying that everything is rigged. I'm just trying to point out that there are very certain things that happen at certain time periods. And if I'm right about Boston Red Sox, you are going to be hearing from me again. I will say that right now because I have a lot to say about them winning if they do win. Hopefully we're still recording here. I'm just going to check that. Yeah, we were recording. Okay. Well, what? It's already 3 minutes into it. I talked about one thing. Let's talk about something else. That being, let's go back in time. Since it was recently September 11th, rest in peace to all those, and we'll never forget and all that. But just wanted to say, did you guys see how many New York Yankees World Series they won right before the Trade Center happened? All of that financial backing that they got in that city for that win. And I mean, I am not a quack also saying that the World Trade Center was an inside job. But if it was, how convenient it was for the New York Yankees to win those 3 World Series for that whole area. So much financial backing to kind of pad the area for this horrific event. Then, not only that, they come back in the same year, 2001 World Series. They go all the way to Game 7. And it looked like they were just destined. Can you imagine the bloodbath in Vegas with everybody so emotionally involved in the Game 7? It's gotta happen for New York Yankees. It's just gotta happen. After the World Trade Center, win it for New York, baby. Win it for New York, and they lose. Okay. I'm just trying to say, that, I mean, it's just a little odd, when things like that happen. 3 World Series in a row, practically, boom, boom, boom. And then this 4th one, the MLB Association is in New York City. Okay, everything is reviewed in New York City. I mean, if that doesn't ring any bells, the MLB Association on MLB.com sets their games to an Eastern Time schedule. We are on their time. On their time. I'm just going to say right now that if the Boston Red Sox win the World Series, this proves my point completely. And I might as well tell you off the bat, pun intended, I might as well tell you that because certain things happen in Boston, and I'm not talking about the Boston Red Sox, I'm talking about, I don't know if you've seen the movie, but Spotlight. It made a huge tarnish in that area because they won Best Picture over The Revenant, which in my opinion should have won Best Picture for sure. There was no doubt, but the whole thing is they wanted a little bit of propaganda. They wanted to say, send the message for no sexual violence, and I completely agree. That's good. It's so good to send a message, but don't give a Best Picture away just because you want to send a message. That is an incorrect format on trying to, get the picture out there. They could have still had the Lady Gaga performance. They could have still had Vice President there, Biden, and he could have still given the message. I mean, in fact, I'm actually a member of TakeThePledge.org, and I wholeheartedly agree that the message should be out there. But the whole thing is the movie. It is a true story. I mean, there was like 90 cases of molestations in the Boston church. Not just any church. Not all these churches. Oh yeah, there was. Okay, they did mention that all these other churches in the end of it, but the whole story was about Boston church, and that was a huge movie. A lot of backing, a lot of people, and a lot of news, and a lot of coverage on that. There's a lot of pissed off Irish people, Catholics specifically, and those ones who are also very prideful of that area, who probably have a lot of, I guess you could say, connections with the MLB. And I'm not trying to say that it's rigged. Good God, stop telling me that I'm saying that. But no, I think that maybe there's people that would really like to see that happen. And it's not just David Ortiz, riding off into the sunset like all the other ones riding off into the sunset. I can't wait to see that if it does happen. This is something that will be very important for Boston to move on from if they get this win too. Just because of that and all of the trauma that it caused and reminding people of what happened and all the people in the area who are Boston Red Sox fans. It's something like this that has a lot of reason for that team to win. A lot of reason is there. And it can happen. And I'm waiting for it to happen, actually. I have my bracket filled out and everything. So I'm looking, and we're going to be pushing for that. And if it happens, hey, at least you came back to this video and you said, you know what, Dubliner, you were right. Everything you said was right. Because you know what? I've seen these things over and over again make sense. And I'm trying to just make a few points here, and I'm trying to just push it to the limit. Because that's all we can do in this life. Is because there's no ceiling. Anyway, this is the Dubliner, the Sports Broadcast, episode 2, and I'll be seeing you, and I hope you have a good future, and by that I mean in this present time. Shout out to Legit Picks, shout out to the future of poker, Josh Reynolds, VT Hokey, ATL Panda, can't forget about you, and I hope you have a marvelous day.